Hello, everybody. My name is Diana. I'm your web accessibility expert, and today I would like to share with you a special video that I decided to make about my experience, the insights, and simply how to follow web accessibility path, making less mistakes. And so this is the first video in this series, I hope, where I will share with you a little bit about my past, my experience, and which moments precisely helped me to become a good web accessibility expert. So my path is full of very unexpected facts. Like, for example, I worked for 6 years as a journalist in a student newspaper, and this really helped me to understand how people think, what are their motivations, what are their problems, and how they, like, from where they come from. To listen, it's a very important quality that any web accessibility expert should have, because we need to listen to our clients, we need to listen to other people, to outside world about the tendencies, how we can help the people the best, and also to put ourselves in the shoes of people with different disabilities. So it's a very good quality, and I spent years on taking interviews, analyzing the answers, writing about it, and it really helped me to understand better people and to learn to listen. And I'm also actually, by my master education, biomedical engineer. So I'm not web accessibility expert by my diploma, and it took years really to study web development, to code and to understand what is web accessibility, what are the criteria to pass the exams. But in the beginning, I was studying everything connected to the disabilities, how it works, how it changes our brain, and how people with different disabilities function in the world. This really helped to install this base of the knowledge about different disabilities. So from the beginning, I was full of empathy and desire to help people with different disabilities in different state. And this really helped me to bring this knowledge later when I became web accessibility expert. And I lived in several countries like Germany, Denmark, France, and living surrounded by different cultures and people who think and act differently from you. It really helps you to bring this mindset, this openness to the world, and to think like, oh, well, any person that is in front of me can think differently than how I do. And just to really think a little bit more about people for who you create and to help your clients to understand it better. I think it's one of the most important skills that one could get if one want to follow web accessibility path, and to live in another country, to understand people from another culture or another language. It really affects you and it changes your brain completely. And I would really recommend it to anybody who want to follow web accessibility path. It's amazing experience. I was working after I graduated from my master university in France in École Polytechnique. I was working for the next 5 years as independent web developer. And this is very, very something very specific that is different from working for a company, for example, because when you work in a company, you just do what you are told in most of the companies. But when you are independent web developer, solopreneur, you have to do you have to multitask everything. So you don't just code. No, this is the smallest part, actually. What you need to do is to find clients. You need to be able to talk. You need to have social skills. You need to be able to understand truly what people want from you and to provide the best explanation of what you can do for them and be strong and stand for some ideas. You need to be able to be a business person and to close the deals. All these factors, it's a huge responsibility because it's all on your shoulders. And later, when you're working as a web accessibility expert, you also need to not just know, okay, here we apply these criteria, I know everything about WCAG. No, you need to be able to listen to the client to understand how people will see the product that the client want and how you can make it the best so that it's accessible for everybody. It requires much more than just knowing theoretical part. And working as solopreneur, it really helped me to develop these skills that help me now to be a web accessibility expert. So I would really advise to work as solopreneur or to take several responsibilities when you're working in order to develop different type of the skills that will be really valuable later in your career. And I personally took a course from the company Access 42 in France. This is the only organization that provide French certification to be an expert in web accessibility. That's where, so you have multiple days of the training and then an exam. So it's really a tough path if you want to get such diploma from this organization. But this is the only one in France, and that's what I did. And it's all in French, of course. I speak several languages, and this is also a very interesting thing. When you speak several languages, your brain functions differently, and sometimes in one sentence, I use several languages at once. But going back to this course, I actually would advise it because I followed several courses on EDX about web accessibility. It really helped me first to understand, okay, what it is, what it is about. But there is one question like that I had. I was following the course by World Wide Web Consortium. They have a free course on web accessibility, introduction in web accessibility, and I just was overwhelmed with the information. The first part of the course was really good. It was a lot about, okay, it's not about criteria, it's about people. And we will concentrate on showing you how people in practice use assistive technologies, how inaccessible internet affect them, or any other digital products, actually. So you understand better what people depend on, what's important for them in everyday life. And this provides a lot of empathy and a lot of standing in the shoes of other people. This I loved. But there was another part, the second part, where um, there was a lot of information about different criteria, and they didn't really provide the links to the programs that help you test the criteria to see how exactly you are checking it. So I was overwhelmed with all the information, all the sections. Like I really had a notebook where I wrote down everything, the most important, but at the end it was just endless, the notes on this course. And what really helped is to structurize and start working on one project. So you just choose any extension or the program that help you to analyze automatically some of the criteria, because you cannot do it automatically for all of them. And if you just rely on automatic tools completely blindly, this will be a big problem. But if you just use them to help you and you double check everything, then it should be good. So just one project, you choose any tool that you want. You can just start with Wave. It's very easy to install this extension and to check a website with it, and just go one by one to see what it says, what it means. Because I really get it. There's a lot of information and you can be lost. I was lost. And these can actually make you step back from web accessibility. You might think, whoa, it's too much complicated. I cannot take this responsibility because we're working for to make life better for people with disabilities and literally for everybody at the end. So it's a huge responsibility. And if you are drowning in the information, you might think that it's too much and I cannot do this. And that's what I hope I can help you to avoid. And I would really recommend to, you can start following the course, but the most important part is just to take one website. It can be your website or website that you like and check it. Check it with one of the extensions of the program. Just see with your eyes in reality, in practice, how it looks, how the criteria they're different, how they're recognizable, some automatically, some not, how it affects um, how which effect it has on people with disabilities, and maybe you will recognize that, oh, this part actually, even for me, I don't understand it. So if I don't understand it, then maybe other people, they also don't understand it. Or oh, the text here is completely light gray, I hardly read it right now. It's like the end of the day and my eyes, they're tired and I cannot hear it. I cannot see it. I cannot read it, this text. So this might also affect many other people who are trying to read this text on this website. So I would say that the first step would be this one, and then you will see whether you feel free to continue with more elaborate tools and to really go forward to get the certification and to suggest your help as web accessibility expert to other companies. So that's my experience. And if you have questions or if you have particular questions about your experience and you want to know if this can help or this can help, you can leave comments under this post, under this video, and I will be happy to help you. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to prepare another one. If it's helpful, please let me know. Thank you.